Hello, Colombia team. Okay, let's start. I know it's just the two of you, but we're going to record this and you've got it. Look, it's us. It's informal. So just ask questions as we go. I'm going to rattle through everything that I wanted to cover regardless. And then we'll send it to everybody. And then everybody that couldn't make it today, please just email in or telephone asking questions. So let me just have a look at the team size. So far, we have 10 of you on the team so far, which is a great size. There's, I think it's almost half and half boys and girls so far, and we will probably have 3 more reach the kind of 13, 12 is perfect, but we can squeeze it up to 14 if we need to be. So we'll take a view as the program goes on. The first thing I know that you guys, have you, Tom, Fred, and have you and Jasmine booked your flights?
Yeah.
Okay, are you on the flights that we recommended?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. And have you booked your internal flight? And are you thinking that you are going to travel on afterwards, or are you coming home at the end of the program?
Travel on afterwards.
Okay, great. So Fred, with you, if you're going to travel on, then you only need to book the in-country flight from Bogota to Bucaramanga and your flight from Bogota to back to the UK, which you can change when you're out there.
Okay, yeah.
But for all of you that are coming home, and you know, dead cert, you're coming home at the end of the program, you also need to book your Cartagena-Bogota flight, which is an afternoon flight, which gets you home, which gets you connected to your Bogota-London flight at the end of the program. So Jasmine, what are you doing?
So I'm heading to Costa Rica after the program. I think I emailed you about flying from Cartagena. Yeah.
Okay. All right. I got it. Okay. That's, I just didn't brief myself on the flight page before the trip, this meeting started. Okay. That is all good. So for everybody else, just remember the golden rule: to enter Colombia, they want to see a flight out of Colombia before the 90 days. That is absolutely critical. And in fact, it is critical for all of you that want to do independent travel afterwards. Now, some of your Gapper friends might be saying, oh, she's so uptight. She keeps saying this. I've no friends that have done da-da-da-da-da-da. I agree. I am really on this, but I'm the one that takes the phone call when these girls didn't have an outward bound flight entering Costa Rica, and they were literally stuck at the airport for 2 days, and then they were deported to El Salvador for 2 days. So you don't want to be that unlucky 1% gets the idiot at immigration that just wants to ruin your day. So it is always best, golden rule, when you enter any country, you have proof of a flight out. Okay. So that is all good. So now the next bit of admin, which you've all got to do, is to book the hotel in Bogota. So I am going to resend the list. Fred, are you with, I'm just going to look at the list. Are you with, you're not with a friend on this trip, are you?
No.
Flying solo. Okay, I'm going to link you up with Thomas, who also wants to share a room in the airport hotel. So I'm just going to link you up. You're going to nail that with him. Jasmine, what about you?
So I've booked a room, but if there are any other girls that wanted to share, I would be happy to switch to that, because I think you can swap.
Did you book a single room?
I did, yeah.
Okay.
But I'm happy to switch.
Okay, well, it's cheaper, more cost effective to book a double room. So I am going to hook you up, Jasmine, with Saskia. Saskia, be prepared. You're going to be hooked up with Jasmine to sort that out. And then it is very, very easy. You arrive in Bogota about 8, 8 o'clock, you get your bags, you come out of Bogota Airport, you go up to the second floor and you see the Marriott Courtyard Hotel, big banner, and it says shuttle service. And every half hour or 20 minutes, a shuttle bus, minibus comes and will take you to the hotel. Okay, you just need to ask anybody at the airport where that is. And the hotel is 5 minutes away. I mean, you can actually walk it, but you're not going to. You're going to get on that shuttle bus. Then you're just going to stay at the hotel, have supper there, have a drink, whatever you need. You're going to be a bit discombobulated with the time difference. I think they're about 6 hours behind, or maybe 7 now because we've just moved forward. And then you're going to all set your alarms so you don't miss that internal flight the next day, because that is critical. So you fly to Bucaramanga. I can never pronounce it. Brendan, who is our awesome guy, everybody absolutely loves him and his family. They'll pick you up, and then it's a good 2.5 hour drive to Bariacha, which is your base. I mean, you feel like you are in the middle of nowhere, with which you are. You are in kind of what is described as the canyon lands, vast views, really rural, absolutely stunning. Bariacha is one of the kind of UNESCO World Heritage Sites. It's one of those beautiful traditional Colombian towns. Everybody there is just really, well, they're Colombian, so it's a really authentic experience. It is not like what you're going to experience at the beach, which is much more not touristy, travel-y. It's not touristy, it's more travel orientated. So it's the real deal. You're there for a good 2.5 weeks. You're staying in this lovely hostel where you take over the whole thing, so it feels like a private house. All your meals are cooked for you there. You've got 2 meals a day, and the supper is out and about, and there's a choice of 2 or 3 little restaurants, cheap as chips, really easy to pop out, and you'll love that. And then at the weekends, Brendan forces you to go to what he thinks is the best restaurant in the world, so brace yourself for that. And then at the weekends, Monday to Friday, you're working, and then at the weekends, it's free time, and a lot of people in the past nip down to San Gil, which is a 20-minute bus journey away, which is the kind of adventure capital of Colombia. That is where you can do the insane things such as go whitewater rafting, paragliding, and throw yourself off a bridge attached to a bungee jump. You know, all that is available. So when it comes to the bungee jump and the whitewater rafting, it's great. You want to check that you're grade 3 on that river. I know with the Campbell Irvine that you are covered, and you are covered for the bungee jump. If you're not with the Campbell Irvine, please will you check your insurance whether you are or not. If you're not, doesn't mean you can't do it. Just give me a shout, because I've got a really good insurance company where you can pay by the activity, by the day. So there's always a way around these things. Okay, so the first 2 weeks, Monday to Friday, it's a real mix of a week, but there is a pattern to it. You are going to have Spanish lessons every day, okay? And the Spanish lessons, don't think school, don't think, oh God, really? It's really important, because nobody speaks English, or very, very little. So you really want to get in the groove and to be able to just have basic conversations. So you've got Spanish lessons, you've got dance lessons thrown in, you know, just to kind of, you know, make it fun. And then every week you are going to go on some form of trek and some form of cultural experience attached to the day, whether it's be going and see a kind of cigar rolling factory, coffee factory. So you get a feel for the local economy and how it works. But the project work, that's very much working with the fire brigade on this reforestation project, and working with the women's group on their women's development. They make amazing things out there, which you will be able to see and support. And the third project is working in the schools. So there's lots of variety, and it's one of those things where people can say, I love that, can we do more of that? Not that, you know, so it's very fluid. So no 2 days are the same, no 2 weeks are the same, but the first 2 weeks they include all of that. The third week, The Monday and Tuesday, you go off on your big trek. Okay, that's when you go on the overnight canyon trek. It's tough, so brace yourself. But by that stage, you will have got used to the climate, you will have got used to the environment, and you will have got fitter because you are doing loads of walking in week 1 or 2. But it's an overnight trek and everyone, you know, loves that. Then you come back, have a kind of day of preparation, last minute shopping. Shops are amazing, by the way. And then you go on the overnight bus to the coast, to Santa Marta. The last 10 days is on that coastline, and within that 10 days, you will experience Santa Marta and complete the Lost City trek. But there are a couple of days of kind of just hanging out at the beach where people can go, you can do option extras, go, it's not donutting, it's these things, you go down the river on these big tubing, thank you Zoe, you can go tubing and, you know, fiddling about in Tarola National Park. The Lost City trek, okay, 3 days, you know, it's 3 nights, 4 days. It's tough, but everyone does it and everyone's really pleased that they've done it. And it's a combination, you've got to, I was asking Brendan if he thought I was capable of doing it with a group of midlifers. And the verdict from Brendan and the kids were, yeah, you could do it, but you've got to have the right mindset. You've got to really want it. So it's not like physically exhausting, like running a marathon where you've got to be super fit, but it's just challenging because it's hot, it's sweaty, it's sleeping in hammocks, sleeping in local houses, it's bathing in the river. So it's really, it's a gritty 3 days. But when you get to the top, the sense of achievement, you know it. I sound like someone from school. You'll be so proud of yourselves. So you will love that phase. And then at the end, you finish in Cartagena. So that is the route. Any questions on the route? No?
No, sounds good.
Are there
Sounds
any
good.
days in Cartagena, or do you stay the night in Cartagena, or
You do,
what happens?
you stay the night in Cartagena. Yeah,
Okay.
you do. So you will see Cartagena. Brendan and the team will introduce you to it, to the old town, show you kind of the do's and don'ts. And then a lot of people, that's where they spend an extra few days fiddling about, exploring, and then going off, if you've got extra days, to go to the islands off the coast, which everyone loves. Okay. Then Fred, you're staying on. The other things that everybody really loves going to is flying from Cartagena maybe to Medellin to explore that city, and the old town of Bogota. Everybody wants to do the what's the Pablo Escobar, the Escobar tour. Anyway, my son did. He said it was fine. But, you know, they pretty much, you've nailed it. The other thing that Brendan said, actually, there's I did a really good chat with him on Leap Live the other day. I'll send you the recording so you can meet him. He's so fab. But Fred, you might be interested. There's really good Amazon tours to do in Colombia, and he can kind of direct you when you're there to how best nail it. Okay. So that's your itinerary, that's your flights. The airport admin, the week before you go, I'm going to send that to you. So don't even think about that now, because, you know, it could easily change with all the forms you've got to fill in, but it's very easy. You are, let me just check your flight. Hold on. Okay, you're going Iberia, right? So you're going, you don't need an antigen test. You don't need any tests. Where have you gone? Oh, there you are. You don't need, I'm back. You don't need any tests. So it's really, really simple. But take some lateral flow tests, you know, just in your bag, just in case you feel dodgy when you're out there, and we can just deal with it in-house and isolate you as and when you're needed to. Key fact, okay? You can't enter Colombia if you have had official COVID in the 14 days prior to departure. So this happened to one of the girls in the last trip. She got COVID, And thankfully, she tested herself just on a lateral flow test, and within 5 days, she was good to go and went on the trip. So that's absolutely fine. We will navigate this waters together. What you don't want is to go and get an official PCR test, which gets put on your medical form, and on your COVID certificates. So we don't mind if you get COVID, in the 14 days. Hopefully we want you to be clear, but just don't get it officially recorded. Okay, just talk to us about that. So money, take $100, $100 US cash on you, all of you. So that is for emergencies. And when you get to the hotel or the airport in Bogota, you can pay everything in dollars. You just won't have time for changing into the local currency. If at the airport there is an ATM, which there probably is, and you've got time, yes, you can get a bit of the local currency out, but don't sweat it if you haven't, because you can do that the other end when you get to Brendan and his crew. The extra costs, people usually say they spend about 100 quid extra a week on suppers, few drinks, but few souvenirs, but there's not much really to spend it on. But it can add up if you're going to go out at the weekends to San Gil, book and stay down there and do all these activities. The bungee costs about $85. Bungee jump $85, whitewater rafting $65. So those things can add up. So budget accordingly. But for general living, suppers, few drinks, few trinkets, it's about 100 quid extra a week. Money, yeah.
I was just going to ask, is it easy to get transport out to San Gil to do those activities?
Easy peasy. There's a local bus that goes from Barriacha to San Gil, and Brendan and his team will organise kind of taxis, minibuses for you, kind of escort you. So it's super easy. Money, Revolut, Starling, Monzo cards, they all work really well. Jasmine, the Monzo card does not work in Costa Rica for some reason. Don't ask me why. I know, annoying. Why?
So annoying.
I know. Best
So
of all, Huh?
What was the other one called?
The Revolut. Or a Starling card. I haven't heard of Starling, but some of the leapers from the last group in Costa Rica told me that vital piece of information about the Monzo. It doesn't say it doesn't work, but it's like dodgy. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. So it's unreliable. But always take a debit card too. With your kind of management of all this stuff, your phones, your bank statements, your login codes, copy of your passport, copy of your COVID vaccinations, copies of everything, leave at home. Okay? Always leave everything at home, so that if you get your wallet nicked, if you lose your phone, you've got a kind of reference point sitting at the kitchen table. Talking about phones, take 2 phones. 1 or 2 people in every group seems to smash, lose, drop their phone in water. So take a backup phone. There is no post to Colombia. So whatever you leave behind at home, that's it. Okay, but when it comes to phones, you do not want to go whizzing out and buying a phone out in Colombia. That would be hugely expensive. So take a backup phone. There's Wi-Fi everywhere. The SIM card, you can get local SIM cards too. So the phone management is very, very easy. Kit list in your MyLeap. Look at that seriously. If it's on there for a reason, or it's been recommended from past leapers. So take everything that is there. One thing just to be mindful of when we talk shoes, okay? I know all of you guys, wear fab trainers, for in the evenings, the Nike things. I don't know what's trendy at the moment, but you don't want to trek in those. You don't want to walk in those during the day. You really need a proper sturdy, grippy pair of trainer, or trekking style trainer. The Salomon Speed Cross is really good. Okay, so have a look at that. That's the one we all in the office wear whenever we go on these adventures, but there are kind of cheaper versions. You don't need a big fat heavy walking boot, but you do need something more than an Adidas Stan Smith trainer. Okay. Everyone else has said that, a few people have said they took a pair of Crocs. We know Crocs are the ugliest pair of shoes in the world, but apparently they work wonders out there and are really, really helpful. Birkenstocks, again, really, really helpful for traveling about. Personal kind of health and safety. Okay, health and safety out there, listen up. You are in Colombia. Okay, you are, you know, where you are is not in the touristy areas, and everybody in the village of San Gil, Barriacha, you know, they all support everything that Brendan does, and you've got the whole neighborhood looking after you. But at the same time, you've got to be very respectful to the neighborhood. That what they really, really are shocked by is, I'm sorry to say it, kind of drunken Brits on tour. That is just a no-no. Culturally, that's just like, what are these people doing? So have a few drinks, have a few beers in the evening, but the kind of really getting kind of drunk culture, that's just not what this is all about. And listen to Brendan and his team. If they say, don't go to that place because X, Y, and Z, they know why. So just don't go. Okay, they've got a great font of inside knowledge, so be led by them. That's on your safety. When it comes to your health, yeah, COVID, we all know how to deal with that. But the things that I'm more worried about are dehydration and cuts. Dehydration, especially working hard in that environment, can really affect you. You know, it could make you feel like you've got COVID, the headaches, the joint aches. You could get a really dodgy stomach from it. And you are working out in the midday sun. So hats, water bottles, sunglasses, suntan lotion, all that paraphernalia is, you know, and I know you're thinking, oh gosh, she sounds like I'm just nagging, but it is really important. Cuts too, especially when you're at the tropics, when you're in the tropical environment at the beach. Mosquito bites, they don't heal by themselves. So personal hygiene is really, really important. Mosquito bites, cuts, clean them, keep them clean. And if you see they're getting infected, they need to be dealt with quickly. Okay, it won't heal by itself. You will need to have antibiotics. So, you know, talk to Brendan and the crew. Okay, so I'm just looking at my lovely little list here. I think I have gone through everything. Luggage, okay, you don't need, you're not taking a hard case on wheels, okay, that's not what you're after. Rucksacks, big roll bags, you know, that type of stuff, just anything that you can fling around, shove on the top of a Land Rover, shove on the top of a minibus, shove in the corner of a room, squish under a bed. That is really useful. But what is really essential and well worth spending the money on is a 25-litre day rucksack, one with padded shoulders, even maybe a waistband, because when you're going on these treks, you will be responsible for carrying your water, your hat, spare t-shirts, So don't take an old school rucksack, which you used to carry your files around in. Actually take something which is practical and, if, you know, dare say, a little bit technical. So that's my top tip. Okay, so Fred, Jasmine, any questions from me prattling on? Good, happy, excited.
She's gone.
Have I gone? Am I here? Oh no.
Back, the back.
I'm back. Woo. Okay, any questions, guys?
I had a question about mozzie nets. Do we need them out in Colombia?
Is a mozzie net? I don't think you do. Is it on the kit list? If it's on the kit list, yes. If it's not, no.
Okay.
And there was a thing that was on there called water shoes. You don't need that either. That's not essential. It's quite useful. If you don't like walking in rivers with your bare feet, then take a pair of water shoes. You know, we're talking those silly little shoes that, you know what I mean, the kind of rubbery style things.
Yeah.
But if you're really comfortable just walking straight out into the sea, rivers, won't need it.
Totally understand that. Don't worry, we won't have to sort of wandering.
Okie dokes.
around the airport.
It's gone again.
Okay, well, this is really this adventure is a particularly good adventure. It's gritty, it's off grid, and you're being led by the amazing Brendan. So I will link you into my chat with Brendan, and you'll be able to kind of get a kind of his jibe. He's pretty cool. He's pretty special, and you can ask him about, you know, all his tales of living in Colombia and, you know, sailing close to the wind. So he's got some good tales to tell you, and a gorgeous family with umpteen children who all get involved. So you will meet all of them. Okay.
I've got one more thing. On the kit list, it said thin sleeping bag or sleeping liner.
Yeah.
When we're sleeping like in the hammocks on the trek, how cold does it get in the evening? Like, is a thin liner enough?
Yes, no.
I think a liner it will be enough. Sleeping bags are an absolute pain to carry because you won't need them anywhere else on your trip. So take a sleeping bag liner, which is really useful. And I think I've hello, I'm back. Am I here? Am I back?
I mean that's great. I mean, we always say, you know, we kind of, most people are beginners, but you know, if they're advanced, you know, sometimes there's
completely frozen.
Politics and stuff.
Okay, I don't know if this is recording, but it's frozen and we're finished. If it is recording, take a sleeping bag. Oh, is that better? Am I back? I'm really hoping it has recorded this entire thing. Otherwise, I think I might weep.
Yeah.
Are you there?
Yeah, I mean, I'll make a note on her thing.
Okay, I'm going to end this.